Best thing is the audio recording. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing well. Today is a super quick video. I don't imagine there's much interest in this one, just because it's a whole bunch of New Zealand 7 inches. But I thought I'd go through and show them anyway. I just picked up a handful recently. These are all pretty cheap and I just couldn't resist myself. Stuff that it's very hard to find in other places, or only came out on weird compilations and stuff. So yeah, just a quick one. I won't talk about them in too much detail. This is a band called The Garbage and the Flowers from Wellington. They've sort of been going since the late 80s, early 90s. A really strange sort of band that sort of come and go and disappear and release stuff very sporadically on smaller different labels. More recently they've had some stuff come out from 2006 onwards. I think a couple of them have been reissues with different covers and a new release. Really beautiful, really, they're very hard to describe. Experimental, but with hints of Velvet Underground, sort of, but not really. They're a really strange sort of, see, this is terrible, isn't it? They're very hard to describe, but if you want a sort of an idea, check out the track. I really love the track on here called Carousel, which is the B-side. This is up on YouTube, you can check it out. Let me know what you think. Really cool. I've been wanting this for ages, so I was really happy to get a copy from my friend Ben in Auckland. Yeah, very cool. The Garbage and the Flowers, obviously named after the track Suzanne by Leonard Cohen. I feel like I could do a bit of description, but I'm not. I'll just leave it at that and you guys can check it out. This is Alistair Galbraith and Pip Proud, me and Gus. Now, I had known of Pip Proud from my time living in Australia. I can't say I was overly familiar with his stuff, but I know in the 60s and 70s he was a sort of strange sort of poet, lyricist, like sort of sounds a bit like Syd Barrett, but a bit more, I don't know how to describe it. Yeah, sort of compared to that, when I picked up this, when I listened to this straight away, I understood the connection, what he sounded like, and I was doing a bit of research into this. This is one of the Alistair Galbraiths I was missing and I was really keen to hear, because this is one of my favourite ones by him. And he had written on it dedicated to Pip Proud with a track called Pip Proud, so it was quite cool to hear his collaboration. But after doing a bit of research online, I realised that when he put this out, it inspired people to track down Pip Proud, and they brought him out of retirement and he sort of learned to record stuff again and sort of had a bit of a run on Emperor Records after that came out, which is really cool. Oh, fuck, has my microphone stopped recording? So much for not talking, that's already probably way too long for 3 of them. Yeah, so there we go. This is really cool. There's a really strange track on here, which I really like, and I think it's just called Is God Real? Let me have a look from memory. I know that's right, there's nothing on the inside because this is all handmade and well, it's not hand drawn, but it was originally, and then it was obviously reprinted. Anyway, I'm sure it's called Is God Real? Something like that. Or a train wreck again. This is my good friend Ten. He has a record label called Epic Sweep, which I urge you to check out. Really interesting stuff. He releases mainly underground and local bands specifically. Actually it's from New Zealand. Everything's from New Zealand on the label. Lots of lathe cuts, mainly cassettes. He's done a couple of records. This is a new release by a local Wellington band called Cookie Brooklyn and the Crumbs. 2 members play in Orchestra Spheres, who I've talked about a few times on the channel. And the third being in a band called Marineville. This is a really cool, I guess sort of fun, catchy, self-aware indie rock song that's only a few steps away from a Talking Heads sort of sound. But earlier Talking Heads, I suppose. Is there logic in pop? With the joke sort of being that they're using a really simple repetitive formula over and over again to create a pop song sort of knowing. It's very hard to describe, but I get the feeling that they are purposely using catchy, simple effects to create a pop song, but in a sort of indie rock format. There's some really funny lyrics, really great. Yeah, so this is one of the, I think it's not the latest, there's a new one out, but yeah, is Logic and Pop. Really cool. Getting a bit more experimental now. This is K Group and Omit, Slow Movements. It's sort of like a noisy, droney thing. I also picked up Omit and Dust. Dust being Bruce Russell. I really love the art direction on this. The style and the sort of technological fonts on them. This Forecast, also in a similar vein. Yeah, really cool. Tannic and Mixon Meeting, which is a sort of a side project of Michael Morley from Gate. These guys sort of focus more on sort of abrasive sounds, lo-fi textures, and I guess more atmospherics. Honestly, to be honest, this one is not really an essential listen or anything like that. I mean, I'm barely considering keeping it just because it is mainly just ambient noise and not very good. It's all right. It's fine. It's not really. There's nothing interesting to it. There's not really a catch. Yeah, and then lastly, this is Alistair Galbraith, Bruce Russell, and Peter Stapleton. I've talked about this band before. This is A Handful of Dust. The A-side is called In the House of Voluntary Poverty, which I thought was quite a funny name there. Reminds me of record collecting. Yeah, really cool. Really cool noisy stuff. Oh, there's one that isn't New Zealand related. This one is Tony Conrad and Gastra del Sol. I think it's called Spanish. Not Spanish. Is it? This is a bit where I tell you I don't know what the A-side. It's like a long title, something in the Japanese Woman at the Pagoda, something like that. I'll put it down below. Pretty cool. Not amazing. I think I need to listen to it a bit more. Yeah, and then the last one, the Double Happies, The Other's Way, backed with anyone else would. 2 classic tracks. Really cool to have this. I really love the design work on this label too. It's how you use Helvetica. So there we go. Again, I'm not going to give you detailed reviews or tell you why you should get these or shouldn't get them. They're not, they ended up working out for a couple of dollars each for these. So this one especially was just worth it to check out what it sounded like. These aren't big grails or purchases or anything like that. It's just I just got them, and I'm happy I did because there's some of these that I've been wanting for a long time. Yeah, especially these two and the Garbage and the Flowers. So there we go. That's that. Quick video. Hope you're doing well. Nothing to report really. Cheers.